What's up, Internet? Welcome to Interest Night. We're going to wait till more people get in the chat, but if you're here, don't go anywhere, please. So, yeah, we'll be starting in a few minutes. Just keep joining, saying hi to each other in the comments, doing your thing. Yeah, there's that. It's going to be super fun. We're super excited to be here with you for like an hour or two, probably more, closer to an hour. But yeah, got anything you want to say to the internet?
We'll get started in just a few minutes.
So, yeah, just keep on joining. We didn't super plan for this part, but everything else will run super smoothly. Don't worry about it. Yep. So, yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to DTS Interest Night. We're gonna get started in just a few minutes. We're waiting for some more people to hop on, but stick around and yeah, we'll get started shortly.
Get your friends to watch, text them, message them, Snapchat them, tweet them, whatever you do.
Tag them.
Tag them.
We'll get started
Get them
soon.
on here. Have them watch it. It'll be fun. What's up? I'm Tim,
I'm Sky.
and we're starting DTS Interest Night super soon. We're just waiting for more people to get on. As you can see, we're like kind of Christmased out because it's almost Christmas time. Sky, what is your favorite Christmas movie?
My favorite Christmas movie, probably Elf.
Elf.
Classic, basic.
Nice.
How about you?
I'm a huge fan of The Grinch.
Okay.
Jim Carrey Grinch.
Good choice.
It's the best
Good
Christmas
choice.
movie out there,
Great.
in my opinion. So, yep. Starting soon.
welcome to DTS Interest Night. We're super excited that you're here. My name is Sky.
And I'm Tim.
And we're going to have a super fun night. DTS is a huge commitment, and tonight we're going to be showing you guys what DTS is actually like. And yeah, we're going to be doing that through a bunch of different ways, and we're going to help you feel confident in your decision to do DTS.
Yes, we're going to have games. We're going to have giveaways. It's going to be a lot of fun. One of the fun games is for you in the chat. When you hear this song, wait for it.
Did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water?
Yeah, when you hear that song, there's going to be a giveaway in the chat. So keep your ears out, because you hear with your ears. Keep your ears out for that, so you can get some fun prizes. Also, if you're watching this in the future, first of all, hi future. Hope the future is great. Second of all, we have a link, or we have a description of what's going on in the caption, so you can see like what's going on. And you can watch that. Yeah.
We're going to have quite a few guest speakers coming on, talking about quite a few different topics. So if you guys have any questions, you can feel free to drop them in the comments, and then we'll be sure to answer some of those. So that you can have clarity about what DTS is. And you might be wondering what YWAM is. Well, at this point, nearly half the world has never heard the gospel. And if nothing changes, 2.2 billion people will live and die and never hear the name of Jesus. YWAM Orlando uses missionary training and outreach so that you can take the hope of Jesus to the lost and unreached. One of those missionary training and outreach opportunities is DTS, and that stands for Discipleship Training School.
Yeah, and so if you come in the winter, the guest we're about to bring on will be your school leader. He also oversees all of the DTS. His name is Jessie Anderson.
Give it up for Jessie Anderson! Yeah. Awesome, Jessie. Well, thank you so much for coming on. We're so excited to have you here.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Hi. Tell us about DTS.
So DTS, before I got into before I get into the nuts and bolts of kind of what DTS is, I thought I would kind of share a little story of my own.
Yeah, of course.
When I think of DTS, I think of my own. I did my DTS back in 2004, long time ago.
I was in fourth grade.
Fourth grade.
Man.
That doesn't help.
Okay, sorry.
But yeah, no, it was on my outreach, and we'll get to outreaches a little bit later tonight. But we were in Morocco doing some stuff there, and we were playing basketball. And in the midst of playing basketball, we were playing against an organized high school basketball team on this street court with 5 of us guys that were on our outreach. And we're playing, and they've got matching jerseys. They've got a coach with a clipboard. These guys are legit. And then you got just a bunch of Americans that enjoy the game, right? Mm-hmm. They're running plays. Within a matter of moments, they're just destroying us in this game of basketball. So we're kind of laughing about it. And then one thing, we start to actually get some rebounds, and we actually turn around and end up beating them in this basketball game. And throughout the course of this basketball game, the coach for the Moroccan team is just livid, is yelling and is upset and is mad at all of his players because they're dropping passes, they're not setting screens, they're not doing all these basketball things. And meanwhile, we're just playing basketball in Africa. This is awesome, And at the end of the game, it's over. We're all just kind of huddled up. The other team's coach is just going crazy on them. And the player comes over, the main player, their kind of star guy, comes over to our team. And he says to us, he goes, through his broken language, he says in English, he goes, "Hey, I have a question. While we were beating you guys, you were happy. You were having fun. When you guys started to beat us, we were not happy, and we were not having fun." And then he looks at us, and he goes, what is the difference between your team and our team? And so we got to invite this guy out, and we were like, hey, if you want to know the difference between us, why don't we go off this basketball court and go get some beautiful Moroccan tea, and we'll tell you about the greatest difference between us. And throughout that night and several others, we got to share the gospel with this guy and many of the other teams. And it was, guys, it was in that moment that I remember thinking, if this is missions, if this is what it's like to follow Jesus, and I could do that through the avenue of basketball, then I could be a missionary. You see, one of the coolest things about DTS is that followers of Jesus, we really believe that we can use our skills and our hobbies and our passions to make a difference for Him and in His kingdom. Yet, like myself, my greatest hindrance was fear. I was terrified by other people, and I thought being a missionary meant that I had to look a certain way or act a certain way. But here I am playing basketball in Morocco and totally ministered to this guy. And you see, guys, that's what a DTS is. That's really what it comes down to, is we want to equip you with the ability to overcome that fear. And that we believe that there is the possibility through this program that we can equip you with how to overcome fear and to use your skills and your hobbies and your interests for Jesus and making His name known in the nations and basketball courts in Northern Africa.
That's amazing. You were talking about equipping. So in a DTS, what are some of the teaching topics that will equip potential students?
Yeah, so unlike high school where you have multiple topics throughout a day, right? First period, second period, third period. Well, DTS in of itself is modular, meaning we have one topic for an entire week followed by another topic, and 12 of those. So, hearing God's voice, discerning the voice of God, understanding forgiveness, biblical worldview, biblical overview, what's actually in the Bible, spiritual warfare, evangelism, the nature and character of God, evangelism. I mean, it's 12 of those weeks. I tell people at the end of the day, doing a DTS was the third best decision I ever made. 1, accepting Christ. 2, marrying my very hot wife who's watching at home. And 3 was doing a DTS. It was that pivotal to forming me into the man I am today. Yeah.
Wow.
That's so good. So I've heard a bit about electives.
Yeah.
Can you share with us a little bit about how electives help equip you for missions?
I mean, I just...
There's the song that we all love. So you know what that means? We're going to do a giveaway. In the chat, I want, let's say the 6th person to type in the alien emoji is going to get an e-gift card to Starbucks. Go for it. We'll shout you out when you win. Yeah, so electives.
So aliens. We actually have an alien. No,
we do.
No alien electives. So, again, like I said in my little story of basketball, we want to see an avenue where people can use their hobbies and their passions in ministry. And so, we have things like, we have a carpentry elective, a photography elective, sports and fitness, worship, one dedicated to people that want to go long terms. We have a pottery elective. Again, equipping people with the how to use their hobbies and their passions actually in missions. So electives are just what they are. The main thing is the main thing, and that's the discipleship training school and the courses. But then also we want you to be, empowered with your own hobbies and passions. See that used in the field.
Yeah, we want to shout out
who won?
S_Marshall_1. Congrats on your Starbucks gift card. Use it wisely.
That is my sister.
Is it for real?
I'm almost 100% positive. Samantha Marshall. Hey, Sam. This was not rigged or set up. This is a live feed, folks. I expect half that gift card, Sam.
Wow, that's amazing. So, does short-term missions actually make a difference?
Well, short answer is yes. When you look at short-term missions, it honestly, if you look at the 3 years of Jesus' public ministry, it was short-term missions. in of itself. No one would look at the life of Jesus and say his ministry wasn't effective. But when you really boil it down, he's at cities for 1 week, 2 weeks, multiple times. He's actually asked, "Hey, stay." And what does he say? "No, man, I got to keep going." Right? Short-term missions is very much like that, where we get to connect with the work of the long-termers and what's going on there. We widen the nets, bring in people, and then we get to work in collaboration with those that are there long-term to give them the fish, if you will. But yeah, I mean, you look at the life of Jesus and you can't escape the reality that he was short-term ministry, small cities, throughout the course of this 3-year time. Yeah.
Wow,
That's so good.
that's amazing.
So hearing all of this about DTS sounds amazing. But who is DTS for everybody that's like watching? Like, who is DTS for?
Yeah. Well, the reality is that anyone can apply, but at the end of the day, DTS is geared for individuals that really want to take their faith and their desire to become like Jesus kind of to the next level. For me, I had reached a point in my walk with God where I just kind of thought I knew everything. I wasn't necessarily being challenged in my communities and in Bible school or Bible studies and different things, and I wanted to be challenged. If you look at discipleship, the call to discipleship is a call to change. And so the DTS is anyone can apply, but those that apply, you gotta be ready to be challenged, because how could you ever desire to be formed in the image of God yet resistant to change? And so we see that in Luke 2:52. Jesus himself went through the process of formation and grew in wisdom, stature, and favor with God and man. And so the reality of who DTS is for the man or woman that is eager to become more like Jesus and doesn't care about the cost to get there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. And chat, if you have any questions, you can be dropping those in the comments.
Yeah.
So we can answer your questions. So I'm sure there probably are some questions at home. Guys probably have some good questions. So you would say that DTS is for people that are a little bit different. A little bit, they don't want to be just like everybody else.
That are bored of the status quo.
Yeah.
That are just tired of that yearn for genuine relationship, genuine connection to the Lord, that are tired of just going to the church every day, not knowing what to do, wanting to take your walk with Jesus a little bit further and more intimate. And in the DTS setting, that's inescapable.
Yeah. Question from the chat. What would you say is the best week?
Cool.
Unbiasedly.
For me, it was hearing the voice of God, learning that actually I had heard his voice my entire life, but the confidence to actually call it the voice of God was a big deal. And that really, is part of our one of our values is the idea is, hearing from God, our third value. And navigating that, I think, became the foundation for everything else in my journey with the Lord, was hearing from the Lord. And then honestly, too, I think walking through who God really is, a week on nature and character, understanding that I had grown up with an understanding of who God was that perhaps actually wasn't who he was, and discovering that he actually is as good as he is.
Yeah, that's so good. Follow-up question on that, just as we're talking about the different weeks, can you share a little bit with us about the teachers that we have coming in for DTS?
Yep, another one of our values in YWAM is to do first, then teach, right? It's our 12th value. And it talks about the idea is that we want a teacher. When I'm planning your DTS, when I'm building the curriculum for the schedule, I always want to look for teachers that in theory are having to pause what they're doing and then come teach it, and then would return to what it is they're teaching about. So if I have someone teaching on evangelism, then I would look for evidence of them walking in evangelism, practicing it, and having the authority to then come and teach it. So, one of our values is to be international and interdenominational. And so when I'm looking for your teachers, I'm looking for making sure we've got guys and girls and different races represented, because it's only then when we can learn from the body of Christ appropriately is when everyone is at the table. But most importantly, they have to walk in authority of their subject.
Yeah. Fun fact, Jessie here teaches biblical overview, where it gives you a bird's eye view of the Bible, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Not to like butter up the guest, but it's amazing. He
Oh,
does a
thanks.
very
Oh,
good
cut it.
job.
You're good.
Yeah. Yeah. Another
Thanks.
question from the chat, they were wondering, we call them CRs. Could you
Yeah.
explain what a CR is?
Yeah, the actual term in YWAM is called work duties, but we have kind of modified that here in Orlando to dub it community responsibility, CR. Is that, again, we believe we're a family, right? And so the reality is that every part of the family carries its weight and has chores. And so what we dub work duties, we call CRs, or community responsibilities. They could be things like, prepping for a meal, or cleaning a meal, or doing lawns, and so on and so forth. But it's a way, we have a very large campus here in Orlando, and it takes a lot of hands to maintain this. Behind this camera alone are multiple people, some students, that are actually doing this as part of their CR.
Yeah, that's great. And on that, we're actually going to have someone coming in a little bit who's going to share about campus life. So if you have any other questions about what the day-to-day looks like on campus, you can feel free to put those in the chat, and we'll have them later. But probably the last question that we can get to for you, Jessie, is someone in the chat was wondering what week challenges you the most?
Ooh, lordship. Without a doubt, lordship. And that basically means we say he's God, we love him, right? We got the decals on our cars and the whatever. But is he actually Lord over our lives? Coming into, a YWAM event or a school really caused me to answer that question. I had a career. My wife and I were married 2 years. I was going to Texas Tech. We were enrolled. And the Lord said, hey, would you do a DTS? My answer to that question is what the topic of lordship is. Am I willing to lay my life down in response to his invitation? That is easy to say. It is very hard to do.
Wow.
Wisdom
Amazing.
right there.
That's great.
So good.
You're going to want to watch that again and soak that back in.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Is this when a guest comes in? Like,
This is-
a little puppet?
Yeah. So it looks like that's our time is up. Thank you, Jessie, so much for coming on.
Yes.
We have this little stocking. There are little pieces of paper in here. There's a truth or dare in there. So if you want to just take one
Do
of
I
those.
get to choose whether it's the truth or the dare?
It's chosen for you, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
And it's kind of deep down in there.
All right, here we go.
We're going to get ready for
Can
this.
my mom and dad turn off the live feed?
Yeah, maybe that might be.
All right, here we go. Do the robots dance?
There you go.
Okay, you gotta stand up.
Do I
Stand up and
stand?
do the robot
Yeah.
dance.
Do I get some music?
Bow, bow.
Oh.
Bam, bam, bow.
And there's a little hand thing.
Bam,
Robot dance.
bam, bam.
Do a DTS.
Bam.
All right, thanks,
Awesome.
guys.
Thank you so much, Jessie. Yeah. Awesome. So we have a game next for you guys. We're going to have our fun game host, Katie, come on, and she's going to explain the game that's going on.
Yeah.
And she's going to have fun guests participate in the game. Come on in, Katie.
All right, so we are about to play a game, and you guys can come on up. So this is called the tree decorating game. So what we're gonna do, we have 4 lovely volunteers here, and we're gonna split them into 2 groups. So we'll have you guys be partners, and you guys be partners. You each get 1 roll of toilet paper, and then we have 12 ornaments in this bucket. You guys each get 6. So one person will basically squish it. One person will be the tree, and another person will be the decorator. And at the end, you guys will have 1 minute. I'll have the timer, so you'll have to work fast. And basically, okay, we're getting more starts. Okay, we can back up. And what you're gonna do is at the end of 1 minute, we're gonna have our lovely audience vote on which tree they think is the best one. So do you guys understand?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions? No? Okay, perfect.
10-second countdown.
Yes, I will do 10 seconds, and the ornaments will be right behind you.
10,
And okay, are you ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. We have an amazing size eating.
I think it's dizzy for you.
Perfect. Go faster, 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 faster. You're doing great. I think this should be fine.
You know.
37 seconds.
Spin work.
You got it?
Spin.
You're doing great. Great. No, it's going great. You have 23 seconds. So I recommend putting some ornaments.
Okay.
Okay, you got it. You got it. So good. Oh wow. Every part. I love it. I love it.
eyeball. Yeah, don't poke my
All right. You have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. All right. So so now, everybody watching, you get to vote on which one you think. We'll do number 1 and number 2. And so you guys vote and tell us which one is the best. And the winners will get to spin a prize wheel that will get a lovely prize that are back there. So, yes. How long do they have to vote on the person?
You look beautiful, man.
You have 10 seconds, so get your answers in now. Wow, I love this. Very abstract, a very abstract Christmas tree.
that was the
goal.
That was
I think
the goal.
that, yeah. I think that you did a great job. I love the glasses. Use the glasses.
I'm gonna be chilling with these for the rest of the night.
Sorry. Number 2.
Oh,
Yay!
You get to spin.
Okay,
I got
so
you.
now
I got to
this
do
is
enough
our
spinning.
fun little prize wheel. So I'm gonna spin it. They are gonna spin it. So you can come up here.
You get to spin it. I've already done enough.
Yes, and you can spin the wheel. 7. Yeah, 7. So they get
We get.
a little kitty dinner chicken thing.
Hey.
All right, and now you can also get a prize. So
Do I get it too?
yes, you get to spin the wheel. Yes, here we go. 6. All right, let's see.
The 6.
Oh my gosh, you got the little shark.
I get a shark.
That was so cute. Okay, here you go. Here's your prize. Everybody give it up for our lovely volunteers. Thank you, guys. All right. Awesome.
Chat, you got that right. 2 was clearly the winner.
Awesome. Well, yeah, for those of you who are just jumping on now, welcome to DTS Interest Night. We're super excited to have you here. DTS is a huge commitment, so we want to make sure that you are feeling confident in your decision to do DTS. So we're going to show you what DTS is actually like. And with that, we're going to enter into our our topic on campus life. And we have one of my friends, one of my favorite people.
One of my friends, too.
one of our friends coming
He's
up.
just a friend all around. He's
A friend to
all.
all.
Yeah.
Sam Etaudor coming up to share with us about campus life. Thank you for coming, Sam.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I like your knockoff Rangers hockey jersey.
Thanks. It's
Yeah.
forgiven.
So there's forgiven, which is forgiveness is good. The Lord forgives us. So that's
Awesome,
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're talking about staff, or not staff life. That's not it. Campus life.
Yeah.
Campus life.
Yeah.
Could you just give us like an overview
Yeah.
of campus life?
I want to paint a little like picture story for you.
Yeah.
Here, right. So usually DTS orientation starts Monday. So you arrive on Sunday. You do your registration and everything. There's literally we have like a welcome night. You go to bed. You wake up. It's Monday morning. and the first thing you have is worship, right? And you just you get to go up to the chapel, you come together, and all these people you don't really know, but you can just kind of feel in the air, like the atmosphere of like, man, like we're all here to worship Jesus, right? And we all love Jesus, and we can't wait to see what these next 3 to 6 months have for us, right? And so you go from worship to class time to the meal times. And I'm just telling you, like, meals at YWAM Orlando are like next level, right?
It's true.
One time we got dubbed Youth with the Kitchen, right? And it's just who we like. Meals here are next level. You have to come here to experience it. I'll tell you that right now. Boom Boom Sauce, it's next level, phenomenal, right? And then you have a break time, and you either have like you go to outreach prep time, right? So it's like focusing, it's like specific time where you focus on the nation that you're going to, right? You're praying, getting together, and building like kind of history and family and community with your team, right? And then you have dinner time, and then usually in the afternoons we have or evenings, some sort of sport or kind of like hangout in the depot, you know? And like that's just a little snapshot of what like your typical day would look like, right?
Yeah.
In here at YWAM.
That's
So good.
amazing. Yeah, Jessie had shared a story. Do you have a story you'd like to share with the stream?
Yeah, I think my favorite like campus life memory, it just recently happened, is our good old turkey bowl. You know, Thanksgiving here at YWAM Orlando is next level. There's so much food. There's so much, like, everyone just comes together, and it's just, we give thanks, right? We're grateful that we all got to come together. We all come from different nations, different places. We've all celebrated Thanksgiving differently. And just to be able to come together in the morning, enjoy a good meal, ham, turkey, your corn, your mashed potatoes, the stuffing,
Yeah.
you know, the green
Pies.
beans, the whatever, the pies, the cookies, all that, you name it, it's there. And then we have the specific game called our Turkey Bowl, right? And that game is legendary, right? We split into 2 teams, red team, blue team, and we just play football, right? Sometimes
American
you win.
football.
American football. Right. Yeah, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Never tie.
Never tie.
Never tie.
It's either win or
Question:
lose.
Who won? Did you win this year?
No, but we had
Oh.
fun.
Okay.
We had fun.
We had fun.
That's all.
Yeah,
that
that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
It's having fun.
So that's one of my favorite campus life events that happens.
Mhm.
That's great.
So good. Can you tell us a little bit about local ministry?
Yeah. So something that we love to do here at YWAM Orlando is not only are we going out into the nations, but we actually connect and participate in our community here. So we have downtown evangelism. We head out into East Winter Garden. We connect with a local youth group. And we'll connect with Orlando's Children's Church. And so it's just many opportunities for you to be able to connect with local churches here that are already doing ministry. But then we get to go out Friday nights. We hit downtown Orlando and we just evangelize. We connect with people. There's so many stories of like people that are just sitting by the lake, and you walk up and they're like, "Hey, like, can I tell you about Jesus?" Or, "Hey, you're praying," and it's like, "Hey, I just really feel like I need to talk to you." And I can't tell you the amount of times where you finish a conversation and someone's like, "I don't know why I had to be at the lake, but you came and you like what you said changed my life." And so it's just like that cool moment of like you step out in boldness, you kind of step out in faith, and like you see the fruit of what happens, you know?
So
Yeah.
good.
That's great.
So during your time as a student at YWAM Orlando, did you make any like friendships that you kind of like people you still stay in touch with even now? Would love to hear a little bit just about the lifelong friends that kind of come out of DTS.
Yeah, I got to shout out to my Mad Dog, Madison, Gary, Tommy, Marvin. Like those are my DTS. Jared. Like, oh my gosh, man. Like we still got our group chats going. Yeah, we talk regularly. You know, like seriously, like it's crazy how like you can come into a place not know anybody, and I mean, you got people from California. You know, you got people from Idaho. You got people from New York, all coming together in one state, one little small campus. Well, it's a big campus, but like just being able to like connect, and like I am thousands of miles away from these guys, but we still have like our deep connection, our deep friendship, and it's awesome. It's incredible. I love it. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I've made some of my
They
very creative.
walk on water.
We know what that
You know
means.
what that means? That means it's time for the chat game. So chat, the third person to do the little, the wilty rose emoji, not the regular one, the wilty one. You will win a prize. So we can stop the music now, maybe. Because we did it. Yeah. So could you speak to like what a one-on-one is and what the role of one-on-ones in DTS is?
Yeah. So your one-on-one is, your one-on-one is someone who gets to walk alongside you for the next 6 months, right? And so as you are growing, as you're being challenged, Jessie said the call to discipleship is a call to change. And a lot of times, there's a lot of things that we feel like the Lord's bringing up, and it's hard to just do it on your own. And so that's why we provided a one-on-one, right? Someone who's intentionally taking their time to walk alongside you for the next 6 months, and it's incredible. And it's amazing. We can say it's a mentor, but it's also like a level of friendship as well. Like someone that is really like intentional with their pursuit and with challenging you and holding you accountable in all areas of life.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And so we're called YWAM Orlando, but we're not in the city of Orlando.
We're not. We're actually in the greater Orlando area.
Yeah.
Right. So we're in Montverde, but it's considered the greater.
Yeah. And so what, like, paint us a picture of what the campus looks like.
All right. All right, here you go.
Ready.
Get ready.
Right, so you pull onto the campus, you look to your left, you look to your right, you see some trees, see the beautiful new sign that a creative team put up. It's amazing. It looks cool. You'll see a little barn to your left. See the beautiful welcome center, a nice gate where you have to put a pin in to enter. So gated community, okay? And you drive down the road and you'll see some more buildings where it has like our operations team, our communications team. You see our shop. You'll see our cool vans and our mini buses. And then you head down. You can take a right to see kind of some of the staff housing. And then you can take a left and you'll see where we're at now, which is the depot. You go down the road, you'll see more staff housing, more student housing. Then you go all the way down that road and you have the beautiful chapel, right? That's pretty quick. And then if you go further down and take a left, you'll see the beautiful arena. And then down the road, it's the beautiful lake.
Yeah.
So much beauty.
Yeah,
So much beauty here.
So
And there's a coffee shop.
that's right.
It's
Right
over there.
Right there.
You can't see it, but it's over there. We have our very own functioning coffee shop, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
So quick shout out to the Cassandra.Eastridge. She is the winner of our last game. So
Starbucks gift
you'll
card.
get your Starbucks gift
Congratulations.
card. Good job to you. And yeah, we're moving into some. Yep. Little clap from the
Clap for
audience.
them.
And then we'll move into some questions from the audience. So yeah. Let's
What
see.
is your favorite meal?
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
People want to know what's your favorite meal here.
All right. Eric, I'm giving you a shout out,
Eric Hill.
Eric's got this Cajun pasta that
Yes.
he makes. Phenomenal. It is. I will fill up 1, 2, sometimes if I'm feeling it, 3 plates. This Cajun pasta. Next level. It's amazing. So good.
Yes, I've definitely eaten way too much of that pasta myself. It's so good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I see a question that came through asking, where does the gator live?
Well,
Uh-oh.
it's weird. Doesn't the gator live? It's a real question. I'm just kidding.
In the dorms?
Not in the in the lake, in the ponds. Yeah,
He's just a little guy,
just
though.
a little guy.
He's not ginormous.
No.
He's not a full-on dinosaur.
Nope.
Which is good.
Well, on that, it sounds like we are just about out of time. But Sam, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. Such a good time.
Yeah.
But before you leave, we have to have you choose out of our stocking, truth or dare.
Oh boy, you nervous?
Yeah.
You should be. You should be very nervous.
I'm scared. Whew. Weirdest thing you've eaten on outreach? Well, we were in an undisclosed nation, and they roasted a whole goat for us, and it was quite the eating experience.
You eat the whole goat.
Yeah, you eat. And they put it on the table, right? So they put it on the table. What is expected of your team is to eat the whole goat. But usually people only get so far, and then the guys are left to eat the rest
whole
of the
goat.
goat.
Yeah.
So
Bummer.
that's good. Yeah,
Yeah. Amazing.
that's it.
Well, thanks for
Awesome.
answering.
Thanks for answering.
Thanks again
Sam.
for coming. And
We're going to intro our next game.
our next game.
We're going to have Henry and Emma come up with a fun game to explain. And yeah.
Guys, well, everyone, good evening. My name is Henry. This is my beautiful fiance Emma, and we have the luxury of hosting this evening's second game. It's better than the first one. This is the cookie decorating game. So this game is, we have a smorgasbord right here. We have 3 cookies, we have some sprinkles, and we have 4 different kinds of icing per person. So we have our 3 volunteers here. We have Josh, we have Maddie, and we have Sarah. And so what they're going to be doing is doing a 1-minute cookie decorating contest. It's a minute long. Yeah, it's quick. And the best cookie wins based on your opinions. And so that entails, similar to the other game, Josh will be 1, Maddie will be 2, and Sarah will be 3. Just toss the number up there in the comment section of which one you think is going to win, which one you think is best. So yeah, so we're going to put these cookies down. Let's get these contestants ready. I'm going to start a timer for 1 minute. You can see right here. Let's break that close. Okay. Some of you guys get all situated.
We're good.
On your marks, get set, go. We've got Josh with the sock at the end. Josh. Sarah's got
Little
a
cross.
fabulous
Wow.
Yeah, we are. Gold dust. Okay, thanks. Laying on that.
How many? What's the time?
We got 22 seconds left, folks.
22.
There we go. 22.
Wow, that's
Here we go, Josh. Thank you.
good.
The most
Very
aesthetic.
good.
Oh.
Oh.
All right.
Wow. We really did that.
Well, we got 10 seconds, y'all. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Hands up. Chop on. All right, contestants, grab your individual cookies, and then I'm gonna have Josh go up to the camera, present your cookie first. Maddie, then you'll go. Sarah, then you'll go. And again, vote. All right. So you know how to work it.
You didn't say explain it. Just was on.
Just give it a show. Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right, Josh. Excellent, Maddie. Mine's best of the times. But this is beautiful.
We eat it.
All right, folks. Well, we got 10 seconds left.
Holy Trinity. Jesus. 3.
Votes
Trinity
in
3.
quick.
Raise
Just
for the season.
fast food
I'm
and
putting my
chaotic.
money.
Green is royal. Green is
Go
new
on, Josh
life.
first.
Green is new life.
Number 1.
Complete.
Number 3. Go for the
All right,
Trinity.
3,
We all know.
2, 1, done. Okay, y'all. Who got as the winner? Number 1, Josh Berg is the winner.
Yeah.
I called it. Alrighty. I'm not here to spin.
Now we're gonna spin this prize wheel.
Okay.
Josh will. Number 2. Oh yep, there it is.
Ooh, we got a Pez. Going back to the 80s.
Santa Pez.
There you go.
Thank you everyone who voted. Appreciate you all.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us for this evening's second game. Hope you had a good time. Yeah, Merry Christmas. We're going to bring back up Sky and Tim, and they're going to continue on with the
Bye.
Awesome. Wow, there's sprinkles and frosting all over the place here.
So much fun. Those are
So
some
much fun.
fun cookies.
Yeah. Another fun thing you might have noticed is back here we have our very own resident artist, James. He's a modern day Picasso, a modern day, I can't think of another painter, Monet, Van Gogh, all of those. Modern day, all of those. So he's painting a fun picture back there, and maybe we'll get to see what he's been working on this whole time.
And if you're just getting here, welcome to DTS Interest Night. I'm Sky, and this is...
I'm Tim.
And we're super excited that you're here. We've been having a great time learning all about DTS. We know that committing to something new can feel overwhelming, so we're bringing clarity to what DTS is so that you can feel confident in your decision to do DTS. So we're actually jumping into one of my favorite parts of DTS. We're going to be hearing about outreach.
Yes. Outreach is an amazing time of DTS, and so we're going to bring on one of my very good friends, and his name is Micah. Welcome, Micah, everybody.
Micah?
Check my handshake there.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So,
It's
guys.
all right. How's it going?
Going good. Going good.
You've been back there. Have you been enjoying DTS Interest Night so far?
Yeah, it's been a lovely evening watching everyone play games, hang out, watch
Yeah.
this lovely artist do his thing.
Yeah.
It's been a blast.
Yeah, so you're talking about outreach. Question for you. Who is your favorite outreach leader that you've ever had?
I would have to say my favorite outreach leader is our very own Tim McIntosh.
Whoa, no way.
You
My
have to say
DTS
that. You
one-on-one
don't have
and
to
one of
say
my
that.
outreach leaders.
Aw,
Awesome.
thank you, man.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you, man. So, outreach.
Yeah, so I just wanted to begin with like a little bit of a story from my outreach. I actually went in my DTS to Tanzania, Africa. It's on the east side of Africa. And my team and I, imagine this with me. We're in Tanzania, Africa. It's beautiful. We're in the city of Kilimanjaro. We have a giant, beautiful Kilimanjaro mountain behind us as we're doing all this sorts of ministry. And my team and I got the opportunity to go to a food bank. They told us, hey, you're going to be going to a food bank. You're going to be volunteering, helping kids, passing out food. My team and I are like, oh, sweet. This is going to be so much fun. So we start driving there. It starts to rain a little bit. We're like, okay, you know, we're going to do this. It's going to be great. It's going to be super fun. And then it starts to get really muddy, and our bus that we're driving in gets stuck. And so at this point, we're panicking a little bit because it's still a lot more to drive. And so we had to get out. We ended up having to walk. I was frustrated. I was a little bit annoyed. I'm not going to lie, because I was like, I want to drive. I want to get there quick. I don't want to go walk in the rain. So my team and I ended up having to hike through the mud and the rain for like an hour and a half. It was quite the experience. I slipped and fell on my butt, fell in the mud.
Yeah.
And this entire time I'm having this dialogue with the Lord, like, Lord, why would you make me do this? Why would you make me hike through the mud and the rain? We end up getting to this food bank, right? And they say, actually, it's not a food bank. It's a school, and you guys have to not only make the meal for the kids, but also have to entertain the kids and put on a whole production that we were not planned for whatsoever. My team and I were like, okay, let's do this. Still having this dialogue with the Lord, like, Lord, what are we doing? I'm a little bit frustrated, a little bit annoyed. I can sense the tension between my team. Anyways, after we got done with the making the food and doing the production and skits, we asked if we could pray for any of the kids. And, you know, one by one, as these kids started coming up, they started saying things like, you know, I've been having nightmares. I've been having these dreams that are demonic. I've been sick. I don't feel well. And our translator basically explained to us that the water that they've been drinking is super unclean. And so it was that moment that the Lord really gave me the revelation of, Micah, if your team wasn't there, if you guys weren't the ones going, if you hadn't trekked through the mud and the rain, and fell on your butt and slipped in the whole shebang, who would have like ministered to these kids? Who would have been the ones laying hands on these kids, praying for their sickness, praying over their demonic dreams and nightmares? And it was at that moment I was like, oh my gosh, Lord, I'm so sorry. And I repented, and I was like, what a privilege it is to learn about being a servant, and then actually in my lecture phase, and then actually like walking that out and applying it in real life with these kids of Africa. It was a wild experience.
Yeah,
we'll never
amazing.
forget it.
Oh yeah, I was there. I was with Micah, slipping and falling in the mud, getting sprayed by the bus. We were trying to get it undone, and my shoes were soaking wet.
Oh
And
yeah.
then we got to go to minister to these kids, and that's like one of the stories. That's probably the story I tell the most
Yeah.
out of all the stories I have is that story.
Super big highlight for me.
Yeah.
Wow. So we know that every outreach can look a little bit different.
Mhm.
But can you share with us what a day on outreach might look like?
Yeah, so a day on outreach could look like a lot of things. Oftentimes you'll wake up in this foreign country that you've traveled so far to, and you'll be able to have a quiet time and spend some time with the Lord before you go out in ministry, eat breakfast, and then you'll have like ministry in the morning oftentimes, depending on whatever your host or your host nation has for you. And then we will also have like a little break in the afternoon sometimes, and then more ministry in the afternoon and into the evening. But sometimes it looks a little bit all over the place and plans change. And so you might have one ministry planned and then they say, hey, this other ministry needs us to do this because it's a little bit more of a priority right now. Like, okay. And you just be flexible and jump into whatever's asked of you.
Yeah.
Wow. And just thinking of like you went to Tanzania, what was food like for you on outreach? Did you have enough food? Was it good
yeah.
food? Like,
Yeah, it was good food. I mean, sometimes you eat meals that you're not super, like, you don't really love. But, I mean, a lot of the food that we had in Tanzania was delicious. A lot of beans and rice. There was hot sauce there. We would add hot sauce to our meals. We had goat. We ate goat, and that was good. They had this really delicious bread. It's like a bread / tortilla. It's called chapati. It was so good. Oh, I look forward to that every night. And then a lot of, like, fresh fruits. We ate a lot of fresh fruits.
Yeah. Fun fact, I mistook the pineapple for potatoes.
It's true.
My outreach team didn't let me live that down, but
No.
there's some people in the crowd that are laughing at me because they were there. They were cut up like pineapples, or like potatoes, and it was yellow, so I don't think it was that weird. So what were like accommodations like?
Yeah. So accommodations varied location to location because within the nation we traveled different places, but mostly like one place we stayed in like a building with like just a bed, and then the rest of the people in the room had to sleep on the floor. Another location, I slept on the floor the entire 2 weeks I was there because I wanted my roommate to be able to have the bed. And then another place we had just bunk beds like you would here.
Wow, that's awesome.
On that, I just thought of a question.
Yes.
Actually, it's a little bit different than that, but thought of a question. When you're doing ministry, like you went to Tanzania, I'm assuming you didn't speak the language fluently when you went there. So how did you do ministry if there was different languages that were like with the language differences?
Yeah, totally. So for us, we made it a point. We're super intentional with learning like basic hi, hellos, those kinds of things so that we can make that initial connection. And then beyond that, our hosts were the translators. So they were able to translate all the conversations. We ended up being able to preach at churches, and they were able to translate the entire message that we gave. So it was through translators mostly. But then we also picked up some of the language, not a lot of the language.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, so we love this song. There's the sound. So chat, it's almost Christmas. So in the spirit of Christmas, I want the 8th person in the spirit of Christmas. You know the mushroom emoji? I want the mushroom emoji. The 8th person in the chat will get a gift card. Do it.
Merry Christmas.
Do it. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Everybody loves a Christmas mushroom.
Amen.
Yeah.
We love it.
So yeah.
And we'll move into some questions from the chat. So if you have any questions, you can
Go
throw
ahead.
them in the chat.
Outreach is a big part of DTS. Do you have to go on outreach to complete DTS?
Yes, you do. You have to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an important part of the entire, because you're getting your campus phase, you're learning all this stuff.
You're applying the training that you got in lecture phase on your outreach.
Yeah.
And do you feel like it was worth it for you? Like, do you think this in comparison to like just getting a week of preparation to go overseas or something like that? Like, do you think it was worth it having the 3 months of the campus phase?
Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah, totally. It's honestly the only reason that I could really like fully do that outreach. Yeah.
Wow.
Totally worth it.
That's amazing. And we have a winner for the giveaway. It's one of my favorite people ever. It is Grace Hill. Shout out Grace Hill. Congratulations on your gift card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
I had one more question. Yeah, for you. Oh yes, I remember. Going into like the specific types of ministry that you got to do, do you feel like you were prepared, like going into outreach for ministry, for like just outreach in general?
Yeah. So my school leaders actually went on our outreach with us, and my outreach leaders, they encouraged us to prepare messages beforehand. Prepare for children's ministry, prepare skits, just put testimonies on our hearts. Think of testimonies that we had and have grown through in our lecture phase, and really get into the mindset and the heart posture of doing ministry.
That's really great. We have a question from the chat.
Amen.
They were wondering about Tanzania and the showers and toilet situation. So
Right.
what did that look like?
Yeah. So mostly in Tanzania, we actually took cold bucket showers, which is somewhat off-putting when you first hear about it, but I actually loved it. I just felt like I was really the full African Tanzania experience. And it was refreshing because Tanzania is not a cold nation. It's kind of a warm nation, at least the time of year that we were. So it was refreshing early in the morning or late at night to have that cold shower. And as far as the toilet experience, that was actually a squatty potty. Yeah, quite
like most of the world, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. Well, not amazing. Yeah, it is amazing because you get to go on outreach and experience
something
different things.
Definitely experience.
Do you feel like you learned anything new, like about the Lord being in another like place of the world? Area of the world?
100%. A lot of these places that we went to were pretty impoverished, and it was so cool to see even the local Christians just have such a zeal and a heart for the Lord amidst even the lives that they live that aren't very extravagant, very basic. And yet they still just are going after the Lord's heart and really seeking with all they have and learning so much about Him as well. So,
yeah. We actually have a question in the chat for Sky.
Ooh.
The chat like Sky. Where did you go on outreach? Or what outreaches have you gone on?
So I've been on a few outreaches. I actually have been to Tanzania, so that's fun. Super, super incredible. Can second and third all the things these guys have been saying. Loved it there. But for my DTS outreach, I went to Haiti. So it was an incredible time and very similar actually to a lot of the things Micah has been sharing. The outreach was different, like the location was different, and some of our ministries were different. But a lot of the same like concept of the campus phase really helped prepare me for outreach, and the Lord did such incredible things. It's like my DTS outreach guys will forever be one of like the most precious memories that I hold to my heart forever. So
yeah,
praise God.
Thanks to the person who let me talk about that. It was amazing. How about you, Tim? Where'd you go on outreach?
My DTS outreach, I went to Spain.
Whoa.
So I was in the Barcelona area. Got to go there, but I've also been to Tanzania. I would say Tanzania for sure changed my life. I definitely look at the world differently now because I've been to Tanzania. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, and on that, we have another question that came through. Micah, you can answer. Can you go on more than one outreach during your DTS?
No, you can't.
You just go on one.
You just go on one. I was thinking for a second. I was like, nope.
But you can come back and do more schools.
It's true.
And go on more outreaches.
Yeah.
And there is the potential of going to 2 different nations during your DTS outreach. So you can definitely, like, that might be an opportunity, but every DTS is a little bit different with the outreach locations. So sometimes you'll be going to one nation for the whole time, and then once in a while there'll be an outreach that's going to multiple different nations. But one outreach for DTS.
Yep. A question from the chat is, what is the choice process for outreach like?
Oh, good question.
What are the different, how does that look like?
Yeah, so in my my DTS, we were originally actually supposed to go to Brazil. That was the plan. That's what our school leaders had chosen for us. They had prepped us from the beginning, hey, this is where you're going. But due to COVID and COVID restrictions, Brazil was unavailable. And so Tanzania is a very open nation and was open, but despite COVID restrictions, and so they were very welcoming and wanted us to come, and so our outreach leaders shifted and chose Tanzania instead.
Yeah, so that's just one aspect of choosing outreach. For instance, this DTS is going to a bunch of different locations, and so we were able to let the students kind of pick. They would write down their top 3 choices of what they felt the Lord was calling them to go to, and then we sort of divided up the outreach teams in that way. So if when you come for DTS and your outreaches are presented to you, you do have some choice. But honestly, you end up where the Lord wants you, and so that's really all you have to worry about is, am I where the Lord wants me to be? And the answer to that question is always yes.
Amen.
So
good.
Hallelujah.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Awesome, Micah. I think we're about ended on time. Thanks
Sweet.
for coming on.
Yeah, of course.
You
Thanks for
don't
having
get
me.
you don't get away just yet.
No. Oh,
You gotta
boy.
do your truth or dare.
Lord.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, honestly. Okay. So mine says, my mouth is already kind of dry.
Oh no.
Eat a mouthful of crackers and try to whistle.
So we have crackers.
So where are
somewhere.
these crackers?
Some
Someone
crackers.
toss them to
I
us?
can't pick a
Toss
different
them in.
one. That's not a thing.
See that catch right there. Boom. I'll even open these for you. There you go. You gotta
How many crackers do I have to eat?
fill your mouth, brother. Gotta
I hope these are good crackers. I like good crackers.
fill the mouth
Wait,
with crackers.
can you whistle regularly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's
I'm not
good.
gonna prove it because my mouth's already full.
Yeah, that'd be embarrassing if you couldn't. That'd set you up for failure there.
Oh no.
You ready for this chat?
Nope, I did not.
It doesn't work.
One more time.
One more time. Give the chat one more.
Oh,
I did it. I did it for you.
He did it.
Awesome.
Good job,
You did it.
Micah.
Great job, Micah.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so
for
much.
coming.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate
Bye,
it.
Micah.
So good. Give it up one more time.
Yeah, one more time for Micah. Awesome. So we have
Awesome.
our last game of the evening. We have Greg and Leanne Van Gorp. They're going to come on and explain the game. Pretty exciting game. Get ready.
Come on up, guys.
Get this table.
Oh, thanks.
Hey everyone, I'm Greg. This is my beautiful wife Leanne. We're on staff here at YWAM Orlando, and we have another game for you guys.
Yes. Okay. So this game is called Outreach Prep, and basically what you have to do is me and Greg will be unpacking the backpacks, and we'll have two participants that will have to repack the backpacks, and the first person to finish wins, and they get to spin the wheel and get a prize.
But they only have 1 minute.
They only have 1 minute. Correct. So we will prepare. All right. Can we have two participants to come?
Wow. Okay. My name is Jerusha. Hey.
I'm Anna, and Greg already is going to make me lose.
Where's the other?
Okay, are you guys ready?
They have 1 minute.
Gather the stuff. Wait, pause. Where's the other sleeping bag?
You threw it everywhere.
Alright, here we go.
Wait,
1
there's
minute.
only one.
is it only that be
Yeah,
this
there's only one.
big? So should she not do it?
It's okay.
On your mark,
Oh my gosh, wait.
get set, go! Alright, come on, Anna.
Come on.
Quick, 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 quick,
What's
quick,
that
quick, quick,
bottle?
quick.
That bottle fuels. That bottle fuels. What's this, jeans? What's this, jeans?
What the frick?
You gotta roll this thing.
Oh, frick! Okay.
No, hurry,
Come
hurry,
on,
hurry.
Anna.
Hustle,
Come
hustle,
on.
hustle.
Roll that sleeping bag.
You still got time, still got time, still got time. You still beat your shit. Somehow.
Oh, that's actually really
Come on.
good.
Hurry. Hurry, Hannah. Hannah, come
Come
on.
on, Anna. Go!
Dang.
Oh, am I supposed to? Oh.
Well, Jerusha's our
Well.
winner.
Our winner is Jerusha. So,
I'm ready for outreach right now.
alright, you gonna hey, you get to spin.
Wait, what do I do?
You pressed it.
Okay.
Show the
Ooh, what's it gonna be?
8.
8.
8 is
That.
the crooked
Yes!
alligator. Aw, cute.
Cute.
Wait, is it with that? Is it with the gift box?
No, just
No,
this.
it's not.
Wow,
There's
everyone
not.
take a look. My prize.
Great. So much fun. Love that game. Good job, guys. You guys are doing so
Yeah,
great.
they're ready for outreach.
They are.
They packed in a minute, for
Yeah.
sure.
They are ready. Well, if you're just joining us, welcome to DTS Interest Night. We're super excited to have you. DTS can feel like a huge commitment, and we want to clarify what DTS is so that you can feel confident in your decision to do DTS. So we've been having so much fun tonight so far with some different games and having some guest speakers coming on and joining us. Honestly, Tim, have you been enjoying DTS tonight?
I've been having a great time chatting, watching the games, watching people decorate cookies in a minute, watching Micah whistle with crackers. That was probably a highlight.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
been so good.
It's been great.
So much fun. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it as well. And we are moving into our last section. And this section is going to help us actually find out how to apply for DTS, how to come. So I'm super excited to have one of our key people here at YWAM Orlando come and join us. Shawdie, Ishani. I'm so excited to have you. Thanks for being willing to join us. Are you enjoying your night so far? Yes.
I like your antlers.
Really.
Yeah, they're very festive.
You know what they call me?
No.
Shawdie the red nose.
Shawdie the red-nosed reindeer.
Also,
It's like,
just a shout out to Shawdie. This is her Christmas hat. So she's a generous soul, a dear friend, and yeah, just a great person. Excited to have her share with us tonight. So yeah, Shawdie, we just have some questions about. We've been talking about DTS. If someone wants to come and do a DTS, where would they start?
So you would actually start by going to our website at YWAMerorlando.com. If you want to learn more about how you can get involved with DTS, you can actually click in one of our little sections we have on our website, and it's a talk to a DTS coach. And it's actually where my team at YWAM Orlando gets to call all of those who are interested in DTS and get to tell you guys about it. So you can click on that, and then one of us and my team will reach out to you guys. So yeah.
So good. So if you apply or if you fill out the form, you might actually get a phone call from Shawdie or someone on her team. So that's super, super exciting. And just want to hear a little bit about the cost of DTS. What does it cost?
So it costs for the first 3 months $3,895, and that's including everything for that cost of living for 3 months. So your food, your housing, your tuition, everything for living except for your laundry money, which is honestly not that expensive. But when you think of it, it's actually really, really reasonable to be able to come here for 3 months of living.
Yeah, that great food we were talking about earlier, that's included in the price. That alone would cost $3,000. So you're getting a deal.
Yes.
You're getting a deal.
This is true.
Where would someone get the money from?
So we have a lot of different ways that our students come and fundraise for our schools. So some of those ways are through family and friends, through your local church or your communities. We actually have something that's super practical that I'm going to show you here that I brought on. This is our 10 easy steps on how to raise money for missions. And so this is a physical copy, but we have this in an ebook form that we can send you guys. If you go to our website, if you scroll down, there's a ebook form that you can get, you put in your email, and we send this to you. And it actually has a ton of really helpful information on how you can raise money for your missions trip. And so some of it is just being really practical on praying, communicating, and it just really gives you the practical tools that you need to be able to be successful. So highly recommend you guys downloading this if you're interested in doing DTS, because it's a great way to get involved.
So you talked with us about how to apply, but what do you need to apply? What does the application process even look like?
Yeah, so first you go to our website, again, YWAMerorlando.com, you hit the apply button. When you hit the apply button, all you really need is yourself. You don't have to really have anything. It's helpful if you have a reference on, in the back of your head. If you're my pastor or my close friend back home, someone along those lines who you can just have, if you have their contact information, put that in as your reference. But really, you don't need much. You just need to answer the questions, and it's super quick. It's free, and we try to get back to all of our applicants within 24 to 48 hours. And you guys will hear from one of us on how to get your application rolling. So
seems like it's super easy to apply.
It really is.
So you should do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just apply.
So good.
Yeah.
Next question. Let's say someone applies and gets accepted. When will they get to meet their class?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, some of the ways that we like to be really engaged with our students is through obviously like social media, through Instagram, but also through we have these monthly Zoom calls that we have with each of the schools where you actually get to have like conversation with your school staff, with your school leader. You get to have like in-depth, meaningful Bible studies before your school starts to kind of cultivate family, cultivate relationship with your school staff before you guys get here. And so that is one of them. And then we also have Discord groups that we have and try to get those set up before you guys get here so that you can have conversation with your classmates and kind of just get to know each other before you get here. So yeah, it's so cool.
That's amazing. So is there still time to apply for the Winter DTS and get accepted and come?
Yeah, there is.
Well,
so our next DTS starts January 8th. And so we would just love for you guys to apply and come to the school. I've just seen personally the Lord work in so many ways in my life through fundraising and through getting to all of my schools here at YWAM Orlando. And I just know that He can work through you guys in the same way because you never know what the Lord can do in even just this amount of time. So there is definitely still time for you guys to apply.
And you already met Jessie Anderson, who will be leading the Winter 2023 DTS. So that's something fun fact there. It's definitely not too late to apply, and you'll see Jessie there.
yeah.
How long does the application itself take?
It takes about 15 minutes or so, depending on how in-depth you are in your application. We don't have a ton of essay questions, and so we just want to hear about your life in brief, paragraphs. It doesn't have to be super long, but it can take around 10 to 15 minutes.
And just for clarification's sake, do I need to have gone to a Bible school or something prior to applying for DTS, or can I come here even if I don't have any of those prerequisites or anything?
No, you don't have to have any kind of prerequisite. The only thing that we require is that you have had graduated high school or have a GED. And if you're under 18, you can still come. If you're 17 years old, we just have to have a parental consent form for you to sign, but you don't need anything else to come to DTS.
And then I just saw there's another question about payment. How would payment work once you're accepted? Would you pay at YWAM Orlando, or is it all at once? What does that look like?
That's a good question. So there's a few different ways you can pay for your school. You can go online. Once you're accepted, we make it really easy for you guys. We send you an email. It has everything that you'll need to know before you arrive. So we have a little link that we send you, which is a direct payment to our website that you can send to your family, to your friends. You can post it on your social media. They just hit the link, and then they just put in their account information, and it goes directly to your account when you put the student name in there. And then you can also pay through check or cash, but we have ways that students can pay that, and we share that in their acceptance email.
So good. So for the person that's watching at home right now who is kind of interested in DTS, has been watching this whole interest night and kind of feels like they should apply, but they're not totally sure if they're completely committed yet, what advice would you give them?
I would say be bold. We live in a generation that can be scared of taking steps of boldness for fear of missing out. And so I just say that just be bold and take a step, just apply. There's no harm in applying. It gets you more information about our schools, and it really just solidifies God, I'm just going to take this step of faith and boldness and just trusting where you're going to lead. And so I would just say trusting in the Lord and just taking that first step, and I'd say that first step is applying. And if you're not quite ready to apply yet, let us call you, let us share more with you, and fill out that talk to a DTS coach form where we can get more information to you guys.
Awesome. Chat, if you want to ask questions, go for it. A chat question from earlier. They're wondering what the man in the back is painting. Man in the back, what are you painting?
Christmas tree with the spiritual gifts.
Wow,
Or
it's
with the fruits of the spirit.
a Christmas tree with the fruits of the Spirit.
And hold tight, there will be a grand reveal at the end where you'll get to see his final completed product.
Masterpiece. Because he is a modern day Picasso. So.
Yeah. Well, Shawdie, for the people that you talk to, or even students that you've met, most people, when they apply for DTS, do they have all of the finances like right then to pay for all of DTS in that moment?
That's a good question. I actually get that a lot. No, a lot of our students who apply for DTS don't have the money, and a lot of actually people who are interested in missions don't have the money right away. But again, I come back to this ebook that we have, is that this helps you guys fundraise for your missions trip. And so we know as missionaries, like, fundraising can be hard, but we really want to help you guys. We really want to partner with you guys to get here and do the missions. And so, no, you don't always have the money right away, but we really make it easy for you guys and help partner alongside with you to get the money that you need for DTS.
Yeah. So we've been talking a lot about the winter quarter, the fall quarter. What are like the main differences between the different quarters?
Yeah. I'd say right now is our fall quarter here at YWAM Orlando. It's probably our largest quarter. As you guys know, we have a ton of people on campus. I think each quarter kind of has its own characteristics. I'd say the fall quarter is a lot more big, where we have a lot of events, which we have a lot of events in general on our campus. I'd say we're a lot more, there's just a lot more people in general. I'd say with a winter quarter or a summer quarter, we're a little smaller. And so if you're looking for a school that's a little more intimate, the winter quarters and the summer quarters are probably going to be your best bet. Though we do cultivate community whichever quarter you come to. And so you're always going to find that sense of family and that sense of belonging whichever quarter you guys come to.
That's amazing. Yeah, so what should a prospective student, what should they bring to DTS? What would you recommend?
That is a good question. Like, in general, like, all of the things are just, like, specific fun things.
Specific fun things.
Well, even on that, will you help prepare them to know what
Yes.
to bring?
Yes.
And then maybe
We
just
will.
from you a few things that you think.
Okay, that's good.
would be
Yes, we really, like, we give you guys everything that you need to know before you arrive. When you apply and if you're accepted into the school, we actually send them a packing list, and so you'll have everything listed out, because we know, we've been there too. We want to know what to bring. And so, like, we kind of just list that out for you guys. It's really simple. Aside from, like, the basics of what you would need, I would say, like, some fun things would be, like, twinkle lights. I don't know. The main thing just came twinkle lights. I don't know if it's because of Christmas. Like, twinkle lights on your bunk bed. If you are a light sleeper, I'd say bring some earplugs. You never know. Your roommates, they may snore. I don't know, but
good practical
things.
Twinkle lights, earplugs, and then the packing list that will be provided for you once you're accepted.
Yes.
So good. Wow, that's so cool.
Awesome.
These are some great questions.
Another question from the chat. Is there sports at DTS?
Sports? Yeah, actually, I think they just got done playing soccer outside.
Soccer and basketball.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So community life is very vibrant here. So we have a lot of sports going on, like, probably every night. So volleyball, we have basketball, we have soccer. I think they actually just did a volleyball tournament just a couple days ago. We have a volleyball net outside. We have a huge, like, field for everyone to play soccer. And so we have a lot of sports that goes on during DTS.
And on that, if you're just hopping on, we actually had Sam come in a few moments ago, and he talked all about campus life at YWAM Orlando. And he shared a little bit about our Turkey Bowl and some other aspects of just community life here. So if you want to know anything else about that, and you just got here, you can go back to that and hear more about that as well.
Another question from the chat. Somebody is wondering if they can bring their wife and 1-year-old, and what does cost look like for that?
That's a good question. So yes, the process with the family is a little bit different. So the first thing that a couple or a family would need to do is they need to apply separately. So we'd need the wife and the husband to apply separately. Once we get both applications, then we'd be able to process your application as a whole. And then with the pricing breakdown, you need to connect with us at Student Communications so that we can give you a specific breakdown of what the pricing is. But for a couple, it would be like the campus phase times 2. And then we have different pricing for the child as well. But
Have we had families come?
Yes, we have. We've actually had a lot of families come and do DTS, and so we love families here. We are just filled with a lot of kids running around, and it just makes it super joyful, and so we love families. It's a little bit of a different process with the application, but we love to have our families here, and so we encourage all of those to apply.
And one more question, and then I'm going to segue into another kind of sidebar question. But does somebody, like, if somebody's coming for DTS, do they need a car?
No, you guys don't need a car. So with any required ministry that we have within your school, that transportation will be provided for you guys. So say like we have ministry going downtown Orlando, we'll make sure the students are all picked up and taken to downtown Orlando. As far as like personal things that you guys would need, about through the first week or so of the school, we try to help you guys get your essential items that you need. Say like you forgot toothpaste or something, we'll make sure that you guys get your toothpaste. We'll take you to Target. We'll really try to accommodate to those, especially if you're traveling internationally. We want to make sure that you guys have the things that you need. And so, yes, we have a lot of students also who bring their own cars. And so if you just make friends with people with cars too, I feel like that's the way to go. Just give them some gas money occasionally, and they'll help get you to where you need to be. And if anything, your school staff will help make sure you get to
And
where
if you come and I'm here, you can say, Tim, you said you'd give me a ride to Target, and I'll give you a ride. I'll give you a ride to Target, so don't even worry about it.
So last question that I have is, let's say someone applies and gets accepted. In the time between they get accepted and they actually come, is there someone that they can call or reach out to if they think of questions like, do I need a car, or just wanting to know like some more questions as DTS gets closer? Like, is there availability for that?
Yes, there is. And so my team, actually, what I do in YWAM Orlando is I have a whole team that's dedicated to making sure that our students have their questions answered. And so we are available for you guys Monday through Friday, 10 to 5. We want to answer your questions. You just call our number, 407-273-1667, and hit option 1 for student communications. And we're here, like, that's literally my job. So this is like, I love doing this kind of thing, but we would love to talk to you guys. And over the phone or text message, we have that too, and then through email as well.
Awesome. Tim, anything from you before?
No, nothing
we let
else.
Shawdie go?
No.
Great.
Well, Shawdie has to do one more thing.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Can't forget.
I was hoping I could
You
not.
can't get away with that.
Let's see. Oh, jeez. Okay. Show the most recent photo. Okay. I'll give you. That's not
For
my
those
phone.
who didn't
That's
hear
not my
it,
phone.
it says, show the most recent photo on your phone.
So here we go.
Let's see.
This is really revealing. Oh, jeez. It was with Micah.
Oh, Micah!
Micah,
Here comes Shawdie.
Can you bring it a little closer?
Wow. There's the picture. Mike eating his crackers.
Use it as blackmail for later.
And if you missed that, you can, and you're watching it now, you can go back. That moment just
Future.
happened a few moments ago. So, Shawdie, thank you so much
Shawdie.
for coming.
You're welcome.
Thank you so
you're
much.
great. Bye for DTS.
Yeah. So we're kind of closing out now, but we need to bring in our Picasso, our Van Gogh, one of the other painters that I mentioned. We need to bring him in to show his final work. And this picture, he's saying, is dedicated to a specific user, the Instagram user, Addie_Lynn, which is Addie Robinson Hatfield. So this is the picture. This picture goes out. Would you like to explain your picture?
I would love to explain my picture. Am I in the shot?
You are.
Perfect. All right, so this is the fruit of the spirits. And so we've got self-control, which is a donut because I need to have more self-control with my donuts. Goodness, because you can read that big printing. We have joy, and he's so joyful because he has a beard. Gentleness, butterfly, I guess. Patience, yeah, that one. Peace, it's a bird with the branch in its mouth. It's peace. Joy, love, because love. Kindness, this is Ezra holding an umbrella over Timmy. Little Timmy, that's kindness right there. And this is faithfulness. This is faithfulness right here. This is the Bible, thy mom, right here. These are gifts from your mom, just so you know. Your mom loves you. And this is the star of it all. 8 pound, 9 ounce baby Jesus.
Wow.
right
And
here.
this only took you an hour and a half to do.
Only
all
took me.
this.
Surprisingly,
Wow.
this takes people years
That-
to
yeah.
learn how to paint this,
Well, that
and I
just
did
goes
under
to show
2
the
hours.
masterfulness of your craft.
Thank you.
I'm also being told that since you've come on here, you need to do a truth or dare.
Okay.
As well. So we're kind of underneath here.
Here
you go.
Okay, great. So I have to.
We'll just take this out of the shot.
What do I do? Do
Quick.
I shove my hand in here?
Just choose one and then
Is
just
the
do
gator
it.
in here?
Maybe.
Cry loudly in front of
Oh
everyone.
my goodness. It says,
That's
cry
it.
loudly in front of everyone.
I'm very in tune with my emotions.
Oh. Wow. That was really good.
Thank you.
And for your performance, we're going to let you spin the wheel.
Dude.
We're going to let you spin the wheel for a prize. Go on and spin that wheel. Give it a tap. It's prize number 3.
Number 3.
Which,
It's gone.
Can't even
no,
see
it's
it.
not.
Is
It's
this
not
it?
gone. That's 3.
This is perfect.
You got
Wow.
great.
The Lord knows me so well.
Just get a workout.
This is a
You're
workout.
going for tone, not bulk there.
Can't use this arm. As you know, some of you know it's broken. So, thank you guys.
Well,
Awesome.
James, thank you for your
James.
faithfulness. And for those of you watching, thank you so much for tuning in to
Yeah.
DTS Interest Night. It has been an absolute blast. Make sure that you apply for DTS, and we'll see you next time.
See ya. Peace.
Everything.